call to order. Let's have a reorganization of the commission. Go ahead, Russ, you want to open that up?
Sure, I'll make a motion to appoint you, Dave Cantwell, as chairman.
And I will second that.
All right, all in favor?
A roll
Aye.
call vote.
All right, Peter.
Aye.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Excellent.
And I in turn nominate Russ Jennings to be the vice chairman.
And I will second that.
Roll call vote. Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
I would like to make the motion and nominate Cam as clerk.
I'll second that motion.
Dave, do you accept?
I will accept.
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Cantwell.
Aye.
Great.
Perfect. Congratulations, everybody. Moving on to the Commissioners' Public Forum. Hearing none. Let's see. Cam, typically the clerk reads all the, does what Paul used to do. Real quick, so you read the minutes and the warrants and abatements. And also, is it Wednesday or Thursday or Friday morning, checks need to be signed?
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday mornings. If you can't do that, because you have a conflict, Cam, I
Oh,
think
you
I
mean,
can do that.
you mean for payroll?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was talking to HR, and that really doesn't need to be done, she said.
oh, okay,
So I think I just kind of let Paul keep doing it because he's been doing it for 12 years. I didn't want to tell him it wasn't necessary, so.
okay,
So as far as payroll goes, it's not necessary for one of you guys to sign off on our timesheets.
okay,
I sign off on Sue's, and because I'm salary, I just submit one to show the hours worked, but it's kind of irrelevant to my pay.
all right.
So,
Wonderful. And
unless someone wants to stop by, but I was guessing you guys have other things to do on a Friday morning, so.
I could
Yes,
certainly stop by. I have Fridays off, so that will work. for me.
It's up to you. If you want to swing by Friday, we can kind of discuss it, but
Sure.
all right, Cam, want to read the warrants?
And-
Sue, does Cam have the latest version?
Just
I don't know,
don't-
Kim, do you have them?
I don't see, I'm looking at under all my emails for this meeting and I don't see the warrants at all as an attachment.
It's part of the back. I
Oh, the
mean,
agenda. Okay.
I can read.
You're kind of broken up, Sue.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, on the agenda
sorry.
packet.
Sue, you're kind of breaking up.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
So the
Cam,
total,
either,
the total
the
of
total-
$116,972.93 is correct, Sue?
no, we added several more. It's now $157,726.06. What's your last bill?
I got the
Can you hear-
updated one, the last bill's beta on mine.
Yes, yep,
But Dave picked his up today. What you sent out Friday, the last bill was WD Matthews in the
So
agenda
the-
packet.
and then Beta was added.
Okay. So Cam, if you want to read through the list, and then Sue can just add the last one for Beta
Okay.
to your motion.
All right.
So just make a motion to pay the following warrants.
All
and
right,
then
I make a
read through-
motion to pay the following warrants for review. Commissioner salaries, $375. The town of Oxford for electricity, $41,608.10. EJ Prescott, the meters, $2,000, $263.25. Woodard and Kern for the SCADA, $10,057. And a second one for Waterton Current Skater Project, $10,057. Veolia Cleaning Grinder Pump at 6 Lakeview, $150. Veolia Cleaning Stevens Park, $150. Veolia Cleaning North Sturbridge Road, $150. Veolia Cleaning Grinder Pump at 12 Morton Station, $150. Veolia for SCADA parts, $1,263.54. Veolia for the Wright Pierce study, $12,850. Veolia for the flow meters, $13,608.69. Alarmworks annual service, $275. The FM generator, main plant generator is $237. FM generator for the Vine Street, $175. FM generator on Old Worcester Road, $175. FM generator for Burlingame Road, $175. Another FM generator for $187.50. FM generator, $198.50. And finally, the last FM generator for the main plant, $259.50. WB Mason for office supplies, $40.84. McClure Engineering for review of 241 Sturbridge Road for $1,913.75. New England Pump and Valve for the mixer and gearbox equipment, $10,320. POP Construction on the Route 20 water line repair, $9,920. Stonebridge Press for public hearing notice, $147. And WD Matthews for fork truck services, $265.76.
And the last bill from Beta Public Water Supply Services from April 2nd to April 29th, $40,753.13 for a grand total of $157,726.06.
Second, Cam and Sue.
Roll call vote, Peter.
All right, Mr. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Jennings
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Great. And then Cam, if you can just follow up with a motion to approve the senior abatements. And just state the total senior abatement and the dollar figure would be great.
All right, I make a motion to pass the senior abatements for $773.79.
Second,
Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
And lastly will be the minutes from March 8th.
So Cam, you would make a motion to approve the minutes from March 8th.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 8th meeting.
Second,
Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Great. Next up on our agenda is Vinnie to discuss the February and March MORs. It's all yours, Vinnie.
Okay, so February 2022, we'll be covering the Charlton wastewater MOR. The plant was staffed by myself and Dylan Moriarty. For health and safety, we completed monthly safety checklists. Hand sanitizer and antibacterial wipes are located at key points. February 7th, we completed the monthly inspection report. Training for the month was on lockout tagout, which is an OSHA annual review. For compliance, the month of February, there were no violations to report. The DMR was completed and entered into the CDX on February 15th. And the plant also passed the first quarter toxicity testing in February. Operations and maintenance activities. We replaced the splitter box pH probe. Hawk warrantied it. It was defective right out of the box, so we just packaged it up and sent it back. They gave us a new one. The SCADA project continued through the month of February. A lot of details to get everything going. This is where we were trying to dial in all the chemical pumps and just get everything working the way it previously did or better. We purchased and installed 2 new battery backups for the SCADA computers. LaFleur Electric came in for 1 optional service day. They replaced a bad controller in the plant water system. And then they wired in UV Bank 3, wasn't tied into the SCADA, and we didn't realize it when we had the project bid. And they also made a mast for all of the sensor wires so we wouldn't trip over them and stuff. So that wasn't part of the original SCADA project. Bright PS stopped in and picked up all the operation manuals, and they converted them all to digital, and they'll be dropping them off by the end of their study. New England Pump and Valve was here. They installed the new stainless steel clarifier drive shaft. The shaft and guide pins were both installed in the visit. And at the very top of that shaft is what's called the torque adapter. And they machined it a little too long, so they couldn't complete it at this time. So they brought that part back to remachine. There were 2 days we had really high flows through the plant, and with the new SCADA, the way the pumps are configured, they came on and did exactly what they were supposed to do. Prior to this, we'd have to actually be at the plant and turn those pumps on manually. So that was really nice to have. The collection system activities on February 9th, 165 Sunset called about a sewer smell in their basement. Typically that's not us, but we're gonna go out and take a look anyways. We went in the house, and when we got into the basement, there was a very strong sewer smell. They have a full basement with a crawl space attached. So Dylan went into the crawl space and he had found a sewer pipe leaking. At that point, we recommended he call the plumber. And let's see. We also installed one of the flow meters into Glen Echo Shores Road, and we're starting to capture a little bit of data from that. Pump station activities, the daily rounds were performed at both MTA sites, the Route 20 pump station in North Main. Weekly alarm testing was completed. Monthly generators were checked and operated. On February 24th, a large portion of town lost power. The Route 20 pump station generator failed to start. We went out there, it had a dead battery, so we used the truck to jump start it and get it going. And there'll be more on that later. North Main Street pump station, same day, blew a breaker when transferring back from generator to city power. And this has happened in the past, and it's just, the circuit breaker is too sensitive for the big transfer of power when that generator shifts. So the electricians saw what was going on, they know what it was and what causes it, but they were trying to come up with a good solution for the problem, so it took a little while, but we've since figured that out too. Sludge for the month, we hauled 4 loads of sludge to Cranston for disposal. The chemicals, we had 4 totes of sodium hydroxide 25% delivered, and we picked up 1 skid of lime from Sturbridge. Grinder pump calls. We visited 130 Osgood twice in the month of February. The first time there was grease on the floats. The second time there was also grease, but we had Slims out and cleaned it. On February 28th, we went to 79 Osgood. The breaker in the main electric panel was tripped. The tank had filled and leaked into the alarm panel, which was located in the basement of the house. The main breaker in the house panel was the same size as the breaker in the alarm panel, and that's why it tripped first. So their plumber was there, and he was going to contact an electrician to upgrade that house breaker. And that's where we left off with that one. Dig safes, the month of February, we received 33 dig safe requests. And that concludes February's MLR. Anybody have questions?
Hey, Vinny, that breaker with the main electric panel trip there on Osgood Road, 79.
Yes.
shouldn't that line be pitched in a different direction?
Those
It's
alarm
pitched-
panels, in my opinion, shouldn't even be in the house. But somebody installed the alarm panel in the house, and there's PVC piping that you run the wiring through. And it was just the perfect storm. The circuit breaker got overloaded for whatever reason, so it tripped. Then the tank filled up and spilled a little bit, and it went down those pipes. So it was literally everything that could go wrong did go wrong at that house.
Okay.
But once they upgrade that house breaker, that won't trip again, and it should prevent that problem.
All right.
Anything else, or we're ready?
Anybody have any questions? Hearing none. Thank you.
Perfect.
Vinny.
Moving on.
Thank
to
you, Vinny.
March. We
Is
have
that-
one more to do.
Oh,
All right, so this is gonna be March 2022. And again, the plant was manned by myself and Dylan Moriarty. Monthly safety checklists were completed, hand sanitizer, antibacterial wipes all around the plant. On March 7th, we completed Veolia's monthly inspection report. That's basically where we check all the fire extinguishers and the eye wash stations and just make sure everything's ready to work if we need it. In March, we did fire prevention and response training, and we also did fire extinguisher use training. Compliance in the month of March, there were no violations. The DMR was completed and entered in the CDX on March 14th. We did have to amend the DMR due to the lab being a little late with the total phosphorus results, but that's no real big deal. We just submitted the regular one on time with the missing information, and then a couple days later submitted the amendment. Operations and maintenance activities. Comag polymer tank #1 mixer VFD failed, so we had LaFleur Electric in to replace it. The Headworks Brit blower died, and run without that blower, basically we get double the amount of grit. That blower keeps all the organic particles in suspension, and they'll be removed later in the process as BOD. But without that blower, they just settle and we take them out as grit. Not really a big deal. Woodard and Kern was here for several days working on the SCADA dialer system. There are a bunch of bugs with that where it would call out, but it wouldn't allow us to put in an acknowledgement code. So it would just keep calling like 50 times a day. And we weren't able to acknowledge it. So they came in here and they put quite a few days into getting it straightened out. It wasn't on them. It was the actual software manufacturer had some issues they had to work out. Let's see, LaFleur Electric was in here again later in the month, and Comag VFD for Train 2 Mixer A. So in Train 2, there's Mixer A, B, and C, and this was the first VFD to go on that side. And you guys, I don't know if you remember our last meeting, we talked about how these VFDs are starting to fail. We've had a big run on of them the past month or two. So we also replaced all the UV bulbs and sleeves in the UV system. And we do that every year just to make sure we're able to disinfect as much as possible. Hawk visited the plant for quarterly maintenance on the alkalinity meter. They just change all the little parts that can wear out. There's a bunch of little hoses and stuff that go into the peristaltic pumps. So they replace all those while they're here. We ordered 4 spare VFDs that you guys approved in the last meeting. New England Pump and Valve came in March and they finished installing the parts in the Comag Train 1 clarifier. And we tested it and it worked great. Right after they were done, to test it, we had to have LaFleur come in and wire in a spare VFD to get that mixer running. So we had a old VFD from the EQ pumps and we keep that around as a spare. So LaFleur was able to just wire it to that temporarily. In the collection system activities, 51 Worcester Road has a private sewer on the property and it was overflowing. They notified the property owners and it was taken care of by them, but we filled out and submitted the sanitary sewer overflow report to the state. Pump station activities, daily rounds were performed at both MTAs, the Route 20 station and North Main. Weekly alarm testing was completed. Generators were running during the month. The Route 20 pump station, because we had that power failure and it didn't start, we had LaFleur install a new receptacle, a dedicated receptacle for a battery tender, so we shouldn't run into that problem again. We did some spring cleaning at all the larger pump stations and Wooded and Curran toured them, and they're putting together a proposal for updating them and getting them on the SCADA. During that power at North Main Street, when we had that circuit breaker trip, the soft start for one of the pumps also tripped. And when I had LaFleur out there checking the breaker situation, they were able to fix the failure with the soft start. So we got that running with no parts. During March, we hauled 6 loads of sludge to Cranston for disposal. The chemicals, we received 4 275-gallon totes of sodium hydroxide, and we picked up 1 skid of lime from Sturbridge. During the month of March, we went back to 130 Osgood again, and this time we found a corroded wire in the start circuit. So their alarm panel almost sits on the ground. So during the winter when we get snow, the snow goes right up into the panel. So we may or may not see that one again in the future. It's just a poor setup. On March 7th, we went to 19 Hollywood, greasy floats, cleaned them, everything worked afterwards. March 25th, we went to 4 Dresser Hill Road. The tank has a 90-degree fitting at the tank. So it discharges from the building, and right when it gets to the tank, it has a 90-degree turn it has to make before it gets into the tank. This isn't the first time we've gone out there for it backing up. And basically we called Slims out and he hooks up to the clean out and sucks out all the wipes that have plugged up in that corner. During the month of March, you can tell construction season is here. We got 64 dig safe requests. And that concludes the MOR for March of 2022. Any questions on this one?
Vinny, who has to say where those boxes, the alarm boxes go? One of the others got corroded wire, the other one you didn't think should be inside the house. Like who decides where those go? Do we have a say in that, Peter?
A little bit. It's more so the electrician because it's electrical and on the house, it's more, it follows on the, under the electrical code.
Yeah,
And these are, I mean, any new ones that are being installed now, we kind of advise people to keep them outside. The ones we're going to that have issues have been installed for a long time.
Well, isn't it 79 Osgood? Wasn't that house just built like 3 years ago?
that was
Yeah.
prior to any of us being
Yeah,
involved here.
that was just before we came on.
Okay.
I know it seems new, but yeah, it's just when the homeowner, I mean, when the builder is building a house like that for sale, they kind of do what they want to do, and it's going to be the homeowner's responsibility, not ours per se. I'm not sure what I mean, definitely could have been more forceful with it to say it has to be on the outside of the building, I guess. From us, it makes sense.
Right.
I haven't seen any installed indoors since I've been here.
All right.
So.
Anybody else have any questions about March's MRR? Hearing none. Thank you,
Did you want
Vinny.
to bring up the spectrophotometer?
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't have that page in front of me. Give me just a second.
You had some information on it at the end of your February MOR.
So we have a benchtop analyzer we use for running samples. And currently, we're able to run ammonia samples through it and total phosphorus. And we wanted to start running COD because it gives a representation of the load that the plant's going to be getting. You can correlate your BOD by running a COD test. The BOD takes 5 days to process. It's done in bottles. It's a big procedure. You pretty much only do it in a real professional lab. We don't have the capabilities to run that test, so we would run the COD test. And it just paints a basic picture of the loading we're going to be getting.
What does the
can't run
COD
those-
stand for, Vinny?
Excuse me?
What's COD stand for?
Chemical oxygen demand. So back to where we're going is our meter that we run all these samples in is about 20 years old. And the company that manufactured it, Hawk, stopped supporting it in 2018. So it currently works, but we can't do anything more than we do. And it's in need of an update. So when I got a price to have it updated, it was well over $2,000 to update it, and they still don't support it. There's no new things with it. So I got a quote here to replace it with the newer technology. It's called the DR6000. And this is one level above what we currently have. And the reason I opted for this is it's capable of reading UVT, which is UV light transmittance. And that can be used in diagnosing problems with our UVT system, which currently we can't do. I put in the packet here. I found it on eBay for almost, it's $15,593 on eBay. And then below that, I got you guys the Hawk quote with Veolia's discount for $6,212. I know it's a lot of money, but it's a very useful piece of equipment in what we do. We'll have
Use
more
that,
capabilities.
you sample that every day, Vinny?
We do not do it every day. We do it a couple times a week. But this has a lot more capability than what we can currently do. We have all of the COD test kits, which were about $400 in our cabinet that we can't use because our meat is not capable. There's also metals test kits that we've tried using in the past that our meter didn't like, that this one would be more capable of running. So I mean, it's not a dire need, but it would be very helpful, especially with the loading we've been seeing. Next month's report, there'll be more on that, but we got hit pretty good during April.
So when you say we got hit pretty good, Vinny, do we have to have extra trucks come in and take the sludge out, or?
Not the sludge, but the plant did not meet compliance. The loading that was coming into the plant was so high, the plant wasn't able to process it.
For a day, for a week, for 3
The whole
weeks?
month.
The whole month.
There's a plant performance sheet that normally goes in with you guys' packet, and it gives you a bunch of limits and results. And this is all based on effluent. And next month, you'll see items that didn't meet the limitations. But I've been working with Christian, and we're going to add some influent numbers to this as well, which are other parameters we actually test for. We just don't put it on here because it's not a violation if you get high influent numbers, as long as the plant can buffer. But the month of April, we weren't able to buffer what came through the door.
What does that ultimately mean for us? Did we get fined or anything for that?
Typically, there's no fine. There could be though. In the past, we have had violations, non-compliance, and that's why we have the administrative order, because the plant wasn't capable of meeting the metals permit at the time. So I mean, our DEP regulators typically pretty lenient on that stuff, and he just asks if we're able to get the plant back into compliance, which we have. And, you know, they also look for a reason why we weren't able to meet compliance. So April's always a tough month. We're going from our winter permit to our summer permit, which the summer permit, everything's tighter. And on top of that, our load coming into the plant was so excessive, we just couldn't do it.
What do you attribute that to, Vinny?
I really don't have a smoking gun. I didn't go out and sample everywhere to see where it came from. It was probably a larger user that attributed to it.
And so let me ask this question. I'm just wondering, is Cambrian 100% offline up there now?
No, that system is operational. It's just doing a small volume. I think me and Pete were talking, and it's doing about 2,000 gallons a day, give or take.
And they're sending us 8,000 that's untreated?
Yeah, we don't know if it came from them or not, and I'm not gonna blame
Yeah,
them.
no.
That's true.
No, I just wonder.
Yeah,
What does our sampling from them indicate?
That it was normal.
That it was normal?
Yeah, it was not excessive.
Okay. And how often is the sampling still being done?
Once a week.
Once a week by McClure still?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that random or is that like,
No, it's the same day every week.
it's scheduled, yes.
can it be manipulated on their end?
Probably not.
I don't think so. I think that they're processing, and they're going and they're doing what they're doing regardless of when sampling takes place.
Okay.
One of the things, I reached out to the Overlook because I know they're doing a large kitchen upgrade up there. And one of the project managers got back to me and said in the middle 2 weeks of April, they ripped up their cement floor and they worked on replacing one grease trap and adding two, and they also flushed all of their floor drains at the same time in that area. So again, like Vinny said, I don't think there's any smoking gun. I just think everything kind of came together at the wrong time, and we saw extremely high levels of BOD from, again, multiple sources throughout the distribution system that hit us at once and made it very hard for the treatment plant to operate. And again, part of the reason we go into summer permit is, the temperatures warm up, groundwater warms up a little bit, and the ability to treat is a lot more efficient with the warmer temperatures. So right now, again, April hasn't really been that warm. And so we haven't really seen that increased efficiency because of the warming temperatures. And again, everything kind of hit us at just the right time, like Vinny said. I think the benchtop analyzer will be beneficial to Vinny. So as he kind of walks through the plan, and if he sees something is off, he can go ahead and do different samples for different things and get that data and information on his own, instead of waiting to collect a sample and have the lab come pick it up and wait 2 or 3 days to see what the result is. And then by then it's too late to make any adjustments for what's happening that day. So I know $6,200 is a lot for a piece of equipment, but I think it's well worth it to give Vinny the ability to, again, have more data and information to see how the plant, what the plant is having to deal with, so he can make adjustments so it can do that on a day-to-day basis.
Any more thoughts on that? I'm gonna put that on the agenda for next meeting, Pete. That piece of equipment.
Sure. Is there a reason you don't want to approve it tonight?
I mean, nobody's making a motion.
Is there more information you're looking for, or just so I know what to get you for your next meeting if you're not comfortable making the decision tonight?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable making a decision tonight. Nobody's making a motion, so I just didn't want to force the issue. Did you say we're gonna be meeting again this month anyways?
I'll probably be asking you to meet again this month, yeah, towards the end when we talk about a few other things.
Right.
So for the motion, would it just be a motion to approve the money for Vinny?
Yeah, you could just reference the benchtop analyzer and the quote for the amount there, $6,212.64.
What was this? All right, so I'll make a motion to approve that for the about $6,000.
$6,212.64.
Second for discussion.
Okay.
Roll call vote, Peter, discussion.
Hang
No.
on. I think
Yeah,
Russ
just-
has some questions.
Yeah. This wouldn't be a tool that Viola would supply?
No, because if Veolia were to leave, it would stay with our lab. Because again, the one that's currently there was paid for by us.
So I guess I have questions. I don't. So if we're looking at spending $6,000, Vinny, I mean, do they have some that are 8,000 that you can do a BOD sample with?
No, this is the best one for the month. This one has the most capabilities out of the Hawk lineup. The one we currently have, they don't make that series anymore. So you either get the one I showed you guys or some lower end models that are limited capability.
So do we have to buy one from Hawk?
The test vials that we use, which they're a little easier than others. Basically, it's a little vial with some acids and reagents in them, and they come with a recipe on the book to tell you how to process each sample. They're easy to use, and they're from Hawk specific. There's no third-party vendors that sell these specific test kits. If you wanted to stop by sometime, I could show you one and maybe explain it a little better, but basically they're very specific test kits, and Hawk makes good ones. There's other companies that make them that may be different to operate or to get results from.
So Vinny, by getting you this new tool, what's going to improve at the plant?
We will be able to do COD testing, which is chemical oxygen demand, on our influent a couple of times a week, and that'll tell us instantaneously if we're going to have problems with the plant later on. So the plant has about a 3-day turnaround from when the water comes in till it comes out. And if something's coming in the door and we don't see it because we sent that sample to the lab and it takes them 10 days to get us a result, by the time we send them the sample, we're already dealing with the problem before the result comes back. And again, the other plus of this unit is it's capable of measuring ultraviolet light transmittance, which when I call up Trojan Technologies and ask them for help troubleshooting the UV disinfection system, the first question they ask is, what is my UV transmittance? And I have no way of measuring it at this time.
Very good. Thanks for the info, Vinny.
Sure.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Coleman, Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you, guys.
All right, moving on to new business. Peter, superintendent's disclosure of discussion of sewer rates.
Yeah, so because we're gonna be discussing sewer rates at the public hearing, and because I am planning on making a recommendation on those sewer rates, I have a disclosure. I'm hoping that the commission will approve, so I won't have to recuse myself. Just stating that I do have a financial interest in the matter because I am connected to sewer myself. My mother's connected, and the board can vote that you can determine that the financial interest is not so substantial to affect the integrity of the services which you expect from me. If you think there is a conflict, let me know and I can recuse myself, and you guys can just kind of go through it on your own.
I see
I
no
have-
conflict.
I see no conflict.
If someone would be kind enough to make a motion that there is no that the board sees no conflict and would like me to participate, that'd be great. So it's in the minutes, and if ethics calls, I can reference that.
I'll make a motion that we allow Peter to participate in the discussion, given there is no conflict in our estimation.
And I will second that.
Mr.
Roll call
Coleman,
vote.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. So next up, we have our
Through the
7
chair, if I
o'clock.
might. Peter,
Sure.
I don't remember in the past when we had rate increase hearings that there was any issue for you.
For me, I did the same thing the last time we talked about it.
You did the same thing, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just,
I think it
sounds like
was,
we're being extra cautious, but
no, I think it was done before you were on the commission. Because we haven't increased rates since, or maybe we have, I guess, we did it 2017 before I came on, and then like 2019. But I would have done the same disclosure at that time.
so the answer didn't change.
No, I didn't even call and ask. I just
Good
figured
to
I'd do it.
Good to hear.
Just-
Yeah.
Thank you
All
for
right.
clarification.
So we have our 7 o'clock sewer rate hearing. We have advertised it and posted the public hearing to discuss sewer rates. The posting is attached and needs to be read verbatim to open the public hearing. Someone would like to do that.
Yeah, Russ, I'm gonna recuse myself because I'm on sewer.
What? Why would you do that?
So it was advised to me to do that.
Because in the
Really?
past, the commission had to invoke the rule of necessity because a majority of the board were all sewer customers. Because Dave's vote in this matter would directly affect what he pays for sewer bills. And because it doesn't affect not a high enough percentage of the population like taxes do, it's better that he just recuse himself and not make it an issue.
That sounds pretty ridiculous to me. I mean, he's a sewer and water commissioner. Come on. Of course, he's, I mean, you know, he affects everything on the sewer and water commission. I mean, we need people who are on the sewer line to be a part of the vote because it affects them. That's why we have representatives from all different areas of the community and different backgrounds. I mean,
Get it? I get it. I'm just relaying information as I know it. If you guys feel different and you want and feel it's not necessary, then you don't have to.
I would not believe that it would be necessary for a sewer and water commissioner who lives in Charlton, who serves on the sewer and water commission in Charlton, to recuse themselves when they're discussing sewer rates in Charlton. Just, I mean,
So we have a quorum without me, correct?
Yes.
I mean,
So-
it's Mr. Cantwell's right, in that he could do whatever he wants, but, you know, I don't know. Again, Sounds a little strange to me.
I don't disagree, but again, just referencing what's taken place in the past and
Yeah, let's, just because there's a quorum and there's not, there's no issue, I'm just gonna recuse myself.
Sure. That
So-
leaves Cam to open up the hearing because I'm acting chair now.
sure, so Mr. Coleman, if you can make a motion to open the public hearing and just read the notice attached to the agenda.
All right. Sorry, I'm just scrolling down to it.
Sure.
All right. So you want me to just make a motion and then read it to open it?
Sure, just make a motion to open it and then read the notice.
All right, I make a motion to open up the public hearing to discuss sewer rates. We have advertised and posted for the public hearing to discuss sewer rates. The posting is attached and needs to be read verbatim to open the public hearing.
You can just read the actual public notice on the next page.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
The Charlton Water and Sewage Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, May 10th at 7 p.m. The meeting will be held by Zoom to discuss and consider increasing the sewer rates. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen or watch the meeting may do so in the following manner with the meeting ID and phone access provided. Anyone wishing to be heard on this matter should participate via remote at the time and date designated or submit concerns in writing to Sue Garin at Sewer Plant Office located at 8A Worcester Road, Charlton, or email at susangarin@townofcharlton.net.
Is there a second?
Second,
Roll call vote, Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings.
aye.
All right, so the hearing is open. We have not received any comments by email or mail or people stopping by. And I do not believe that there is anybody on our meeting who here to discuss it. At this time, I would recommend that you consider a 2% increase to all charges. And all charges that apply on our sewer rates, and that the quarterly capacity charge just be rounded up to $32 per quarter for metered users. I've attached a copy of what that 2% increase would look like and what that change to $32 would look like.
Cam, would you like to make a motion as Peter stated?
Sure. I make a
For
motion.
now, hang on, I'm just sorry, not to be super formal, but again, because there's no one else to enter evidence into the hearing, we can close the hearing and then make a motion to go ahead and approve whatever you want to approve
Sure.
for the increase.
All right. Being that there is no one here to speak, I would like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
And I will second that.
Cam,
You make the
you can
motion.
make the motion, Cam. Just say so moved.
Oh, so moved.
Second,
Roll call vote, Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings.
aye.
So if someone wants to make a motion or if you guys have any questions before you make a motion, we can kind of just do that at this time and then move forward with the release.
So do you guys think the 2% increase is a good idea?
I do, Cam. I think that naturally this commission, and you've now served on it long enough to get the feeling that we're always very frugal and very considerate of the taxpayers. I think in your short time on the commission and my time on the commission, everything around us has gone up. Naturally,
Yep.
the cost has gone up for us as well. And if we don't make these little slight increases along the way, what potentially can happen is we'll just all of a sudden hit a major bump in a road where well, we got to jack it up 12%. And then there'll be a lot of people at this hearing. The slight increase, yeah, we all adapt to it. No one likes to increase taxes. I'm the last person in the world who wants to do so. This is a service as a tax, but it's definitely warranted and needed at this time in my estimation.
All right, I'm inclined to agree. To do that, I will make a motion to accept the 2% increase and other increases that Pete has provided for us.
Second,
There's no further discussion. Roll call vote, Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings.
aye.
Great.
And just before I turn it back to Mr. Cantwell, would you have voted to approve the increase, Mr. Cantwell?
Yes.
There we have it. No recusal necessary when voting to approve a self-tax.
Moving on to the SCADA service proposal.
Yes, so now that the SCADA upgrade is done, we have a proposal from Woodard and Curran to provide any type of assistance we might need over the next year, starting on July 1. It is a time and materials based proposal, so that if we don't need them, we won't pay anything. But if there is a need that comes up, if we end up getting a different piece of equipment or want to change some stuff that's going on with the SCADA, we will just pay them based on what they come out to do. The proposal also has Woodard and Curran possibly maintaining our licenses required to operate the new equipment that was just installed. Again, this service is capped at $10,000 for the next fiscal year. By no means does that mean that is going to be what we're going to spend. It just gives us the ability to call them and have them come out to assist me if there's any problems that are kind of above and beyond what might be related to the upgrade that was just done.
I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal as written.
And I will second.
Roll call vote, Peter.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Old business, water line construction update.
Yes, so again, there's not been any work since the last construction season ended. They are out and about decommissioning a couple wells here and there. As you're aware, the sign up period for the free water line connection ended on April 6th. We've sent mailers out as well as ExxonMobil. And I do have some information from Maura Johnson. They have a total of 153 signed agreements to actually connect. They have 35 responses that have declined to connect, and they only have 22 no response. Of those, 7 are on vacant properties, and 1 is on the inactive portion of the Route 20 water line. So 128 properties are already trenched and connected, which leaves approximately 20 to be done this construction season once they start in May.
Peter, what was the number that they said they needed to have on the water line in order to have good water age? And
100.
100? Perfect. So we're well above that number and smooth sailing on that.
Well, that's another topic for discussion. We're well above that number. As far
Yep.
as smooth sailing, the water quality, again, the system is not fully operational yet. There's one piece of water line they have to activate on Oxford Road. It's a very short stick coming out of the, I guess, Heritage School parking lot to the intersection of Morton Station Road. Once that gets active, we'll be able to really get a good feel of how the system is operating this summer to make sure that there are no pressure issues or any type of water quality issues. So at this time, yeah, things are going okay, but there are some concerns about what might happen with water quality and pressure at certain areas of the new water line. That I'm working with the town of Southbridge now, and once I have a little bit more information, I'll probably be providing you an update on at your next meeting.
Thanks, Peter. Let's see, other business. Nothing?
Sure. No, just real quick, if you guys don't mind, I sent an email out saying that we had received another $200,000 grant from the Mass DEP for the Water Master Plan for FY '23. I am working with Peter Newton and Bob Mackey to review what we've accomplished this year, FY '22, and create a scope of work based on that for FY '23 to present to the Mass DEP. I know we don't have a meeting till, we're only meeting once a month, so our next meeting is scheduled for probably the first Tuesday in June. I'd ask that you consider meeting on probably Tuesday, May 24th, 2 weeks from today, so that I can present that scope of work for your approval and formally submit it to Mass DEP for approval, so we can kind of keep moving forward and get that, and make sure we secure that funding and everyone's on the same page for what we'll be using it for, so we can just keep moving forward. That'll also give Peter Newton and Bob Mackey a chance to kind of finalize and provide a nice update of what they've done over the last 3 or 4 months on the Santos property and a couple other things that they're working on, and bring you up to date. And again, really explain why we're looking for really explain the scope of work for FY '23.
Sounds like the plan.
So
Two
All right.
weeks.
other than that, I'm good unless anyone has any questions.
Works for me.
Works for me. May 24th is good. Peter, have
Yep.
you heard from Jack?
I have not.
No.
I
Okay.
will, I'll definitely try and reach out to him over the next week just to kind of make sure everything's good and see if he has any questions or what might be happening.
Okay.
So congratulate Mr. Cantwell on his reelection bid. It's a tough race he had to run.
Thank you. Thank you. I gotta pick up all my yard signs.
Yeah. Yeah. Fill out all
Good
that.
job,
paper-
Dave. Narrow
Fill out all
margin.
that paperwork.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get this meeting adjourned. So the next meeting is gonna be May 24th.
Yes,
All right.
should be fairly quick, probably focused on, I'll try and have some more information for you on the water line as well and what's going on there.
All right.
So
Yeah.
that-
Stop by tomorrow.
I will stop by tomorrow.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do you need
and I-
everybody to stop by tomorrow or just Dave?
3.
You too.
Okay,
Right, I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
second.
Roll call, Peter.
Mr. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Jennings,
Aye.
and Mr. Cantwell.
Aye.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
All
Thanks
right,
again,
have a good one,
everyone.
guys.
Have a nice
Night.
night.
Take care.